My name is Mike Jimenez, and this is the Acquired Taste. Hope everyone's having a fantastic day so far. We're going from noon to about 1:15, talking sports, pop culture, and nostalgia. We have a special guest today, Katie Goodman. Now, normally I say that she's a soccer insider, but we're going to get her knowledge when it comes to the San Antonio Spurs because lots going on right now when it comes to our team, the silver and black. First and foremost, Caesars Sportsbook. According to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5, Caesars Sportsbook made a prediction as to what the Spurs are going to do this season with Victor Wembanyama. Do they think we're going to be a good team, a bad team, somewhere in the middle? I'm going to say this. I'm slightly offended. We got Joe Garcia producing today's show. What's going on, Joe?
Well, what's up, man? Excited to have Katie on as a guest. And yeah, this is an interesting topic that we're going to get into here about what the Vegas odds makers are putting the Spurs at.
Exactly. What Vegas thinks about the Spurs, what they think about Wemby. We're going to talk to Katie Goodman, not only about the Spurs, but also Team USA. What a thriller last night against Panama in the semifinals of the CONCACAF semifinals yesterday, the Gold Cup. I was excited about it all. I watched every minute of that. So, Katie, if you're listening already, I hope you are proud of me for now suddenly becoming a soccer fan. We'll also talk about San Antonio FC. In pop culture news, did you know that a top-ranked boxer made money at the World Series of Poker main event? A top boxer that I know you know of. It's a big name that made it, and I was kind of surprised when I saw his name on the cash list, so we'll talk about that as well. There's a San Antonio guy that has made the top 50 and is still alive at the World Series of Poker. Remarkable. Speaking of poker, I'm going to break down the movie Rounders. We need to revisit this movie. Don't know if you've ever seen it, Joe.
Yeah, I've seen it.
One of the greatest movies of my lifetime. Okay, I give that movie an A++++. And because of all this poker stuff going on, all this poker talk, I want to go back and watch that movie. It's been far too long. What a great movie.
We can screen it here in the studio if you want. We got the projector.
Oh,
and
there
surround
you
sound.
go. There you go. I just realized I didn't have my floating show this week. I didn't. You wanted me to float around the pool and do a show from the water. I'm still down for that, but I'm not 100% sure. Hey, guess what? 10 minutes ago, I got the permission slip from the missus.
Oh,
Saturday's happening. So here's the thing. I'm super excited about the Acquired Taste podcast and the Acquired Taste network that we are creating. Just 10 minutes ago, Joe and I were talking about the fact that we're so happy that so many sponsors have jumped on board. We have 4 sponsors. We have about 6 that we are in talks with right now, which means that we are planning to expand to a 2-hour show quicker than we thought. We were saying August 7th. We're going to have to move that up. I don't know if it's next week or the week after, but we're going to have to move it on up. And because of that, we want to thank you for subscribing to us on YouTube. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook and on Twitter. Follow us on all of our platforms. YouTube helps us the most because we can keep track of the metrics. That helps us when it comes to selling sponsorships and advertisements and things like that. But we are so proud that we're going to celebrate on Saturday night. So come celebrate with us because we're going to go to 2 places. Okay, we're going to pregame and then we're going to party. Okay, the pregame is going to be at Mad Pecker's Brewery. Got to meet the owner yesterday.
Yeah.
This is over on Tezel Road and Timber Path. Tezel and Timber Path. They brew their own beer there. I got to sample some of it yesterday. Pretty damn good. And the food there looks really nice. The burgers there, legit scratch kitchen. Going to want to check that out. Again, it's called Mad Pecker's Brewery, and just for the fact that it's called Mad Peckers gets me going.
I've been there before. It's a really cool place, and not only that, but the variety of brew that they have is really nice, top notch.
My mother-in-law has a house there. My father-in-law has a house in that neighborhood as well, and I have a rental property in that neighborhood, the Great Northwest Crossing area. Again, Mad Peckers. We're going to start there at 6:00. Tezel and Timber Path, and then after that, we're going to head on over to Who's Who on Babcock and Callahan to have a karaoke night. You will see me Uber out of that place because I love to sing over there. Lots of people reaching out to us already. Jose Bolanos reaching out saying Mad Peckers is pretty good. I agree. It's pretty damn good. We're going to be there Saturday, 6 p.m. Mario Cavasso saying, I hear the food is excellent. Going to be honest, haven't tried it yet, but as I was walking around, I did not hear any complaints, and I saw these big fat ass burgers out there, and the owner said, "We have a lot. Wings are good, but if you're coming here, you come for the burger."
Yeah, it's
You
and
come
that
for the burger and
cheeseburger
beer.
from that we saw that that's served over in Thailand.
Yes.
20 pieces of cheese on it. Yeah.
So very excited about that. I know a lot of people, Jason Garcia reaching out to us, excited that we're talking soccer today. That's going to be a component of what we do because Katie Goodman is our guest today.
Christopher Lay.
Christopher Leha saying Jimenez getting excited about a name of a bar that's talking about a pecker. Actually didn't say it that way. Gave the eggplant emoji. So thank you so much for that. Again, we're live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. But if you subscribe to us on YouTube, again, it's called the Acquired Tastes Network. If you subscribe to us, we can actually read your comments in real time. And oh my God, they are flooding in. They're all flooding in right now.
It is hot
because
Tim
of it
Gonzalez. It is too hot.
Yes, it is. I walked out earlier. Actually, didn't walk out. Went to go feed the dogs, and I had to bring them back in. It was too damn hot. It's like just steam coming at you. I'm not mowing the yard this
You
weekend.
don't got to even go to the sauna, dude. Just go outside.
Not at all.
Look at this. We have a comment here by Mario Cavazos. He says, "What is the schedule? Times for Saturday.
6 p.m. Mad Peckers. 6 p.m. 8 o'clock, we'll make our way over to Who's Who, Babcock and Callahan. 8:30, we'll start singing out there, right? We'll figure that out, but it'll be 6 o'clock at Mad Peckers to get going. Daniel Castro saying he also loves Dick, referring to Grady Dick, okay? Grady Dick out of Kansas, who got drafted in the first round of the NBA draft last month. Yes, I love me some Grady Dick, okay? I wanted him to be with the Spurs. Now, don't get me wrong, I wanted Wemby, but if the Spurs were to move up in the draft, Grady Dick would have been my guy, man. Would have been my guy. Fred Villarreal reaches out and says, Who's Who is right across the street from my office, cool bar. Dude, I've been going there for about 25 years, man. 25 years I've been going there. I love to karaoke. Sometimes I do good, sometimes I do bad, but it's going to be fun. Joe, are you going?
Yeah, I'm going, man. Chris Gonzalez has me laughing, man. They still bring up the dogs, dude.
Yes, exactly. And you know what's so funny? You're supposed to be producing today's show. Instead, you're laughing at all the comments that are coming in. But again, we're live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, if you want to get a sneak peek of my karaoke talents, if you will, join me tonight. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to karaoke twice in 3 days. That's what's happening because tonight, it is Thursday, correct? It is Thursday.
Yeah, it's Thursday.
So that means that our new sponsor, Serenity Manor, is going to have its first karaoke night tonight. They're doing it from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. I'll probably get there around 6:30 or 7. Some people have reached out to me, have DM'd me on Twitter, asking me, hey, are you sure you're going to go? Because I'd like to meet up and say hi. I will be there. Let's go ahead and say by 6:30, okay? And let's show some photos of that place. So the address is 14405 Old Bandera Road in Helotes, Texas. Again, that's just 1604 in Bandera. Go outside the loop, maybe about 1.5 miles, 2 miles. If you've gone past, what's that restaurant, Mexican restaurant that over there, the El Chaparral. If you go past El Chaparral, you went too far. Okay. It is basically where Floor's corner store is, where they have the concert venue. It's catty corner. It's across the street diagonally from Floor's. And this is a venue. So we're showing you photos of
this
Serenity Manor.
Straight from their website.
Straight from the website. This is a place that does weddings, quinceañeras, bridal showers, baby showers, all sorts of events, corporate events and things like that. And they're our new sponsor as well. They're going to hold a fair this Saturday, kind of like a farmer's market type of deal where people will sell their knickknacks and foods and fruits and all sorts of things out there. But they have a bar there that serves beer, wine, and margaritas. And they want to have fun on Thursday nights, pack the place. It's a small bar, but the venue is going to be open with a DJ and whatnot doing the whole karaoke night tonight. They're going to do trivia on other nights as well. But tonight, their first karaoke, 6 to 10. I'll be there at 6:30. I will sing a song, and I will have a couple of beers out there. They have beer specials, and they will also have a food truck out there with specials as well. I know the Bud products, the Budweiser and whatnot, is going to be on special tonight. So looking forward to that. Meet me over there. If you're going to head out there and want to see me, want to say hi, DM me on Twitter. And I'll let you know. I'll be like, I'm wearing this. Come by and say hi. So it's going to be a fun time out there. A very, very fun time. Now, Jeff Garcia, Locked On Spurs. You know that we have put our money where our mouth is. We believe in the San Antonio Spurs this year. Victor Wembanyama coming to this team, Jeremy Sohan coming into his own, having a year under his belt, a second year in the NBA, Trey Jones being brought back as a point guard, maybe as a starter. Devin Vassell, we're waiting for that leap. He took a mini leap. I think the big leap is this year. Keldon Johnson, can he get back to his three-point ways? Went from a 40% shooter down to a 33% shooter from three. If he can get back, suddenly I think this team is a winning team. Jeff and I bet on DraftKings Sportsbook, again, it's legal where he's at, that the Spurs are going to win 35 or more games with one bet and 40 or more games with another bet. We are confident in this. Like, we're looking at this, we're already spending the money. We're already spending the money, plus 550, 5.5 to 1 odds on our money. We're already spending it. We're already like, me and Moneybags have already spent this money. Okay, it's already cashed.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is this: is that Caesar Sportsbook came out with their futures today about the San Antonio Spurs, and what complete crap it is. Jeff Garcia on Kens5.com. Again, subscribe to him on Locked On Spurs podcast. I consume that daily on Spotify. That's how I listen to him. But Jeff G. Spurs Zone on Twitter. He has an article today about the fact that Caesar Sportsbook believes the San Antonio Spurs will finish dead last in the division. So much so that they're offering 35 to 1 odds. 35 to 1 odds that the Spurs will win the division. That is insulting, Joe. That is very insulting. I'm going to tell you why. It's not like we have good teams in this division. The Southwest Division sucks. I would argue that it might be the worst division in the NBA right now. We got the Dallas Mavericks. Okay, so our
Rockets.
Okay, Dallas Mavericks. Let's talk about the Mavericks first. Well, they had the Mavericks, the Houston Rockets, Memphis, New Orleans, yeah. Right? The Mavericks. Kyrie Irving, cancer in the locker room. It already showed that he can't play with Luka, and they're running it on back. Now, I know they picked up some pieces, 3-and-D guys, and maybe they'll improve their defense, but I will believe it when I see it. The Houston Rockets are trash. I mean, there's a reason why they're trying to clown Spurs fans right now. It's because they wish they had Wemby as opposed to Amen Thompson. They are trash. The Spurs are better than them. Memphis. John Morant is suspended for a quarter of the season. Maybe, just maybe, they kind of slide down a little bit. They had like 52 wins last season. Maybe they fall to 45. Maybe they fall to 46. New Orleans had 42 wins last year, and they seem to be on the right path going upwards, but they're still depending on Zion Williamson to be a big part of their team this year. And Zion is forever hurt. So let me get this straight. A Houston team that had 22 wins, that's not going to be that much better. A Dallas team that had 38 wins, even though they had Kyrie and Luka for most of the season. A New Orleans team that was barely 500 and is still dependent on Zion Williamson coming back. And a Memphis team that has their star player, John Morant, gone for a quarter of a season. And who's to say that he's not going to F up again at some other point?
Yeah.
That's the thing. So I look at the Spurs, and I've been calling this from the get-go. Last year, everyone gave me so much crap because I said that the Spurs are a 20-win team. And they were almost a 20-win team. They were a 22-win team.
Yeah, 22. Get it right.
Get it right, right? Get it right. Okay, I was off by a couple of games. But I have said from the get-go, and I have receipt upon receipt upon receipt. Didn't say it once, didn't say it twice. I've said this 15, 20 times. This Spurs team is a 46-win team as it stands right now, not including any other free agent pickups or any other trades. Just who they are right now is 46 wins. They're going to be in the playoffs next year. And the fact of the matter is that I look at the Caesar Sportsbook, and I'm thinking to myself, exactly what are they looking at that I don't see? What is it that I don't see? Are you expecting Wemby to get hurt? Knocking on wood, not trying to do that. Are you expecting the Spurs to just improve 8 or 9 games? Because the Spurs lost on purpose last year. The Spurs got 22 wins losing on purpose. Losing on purpose. So they were already a 30-win team. A 30-win team. Add Wemby to the mix. Trey Jones getting better. Vassell getting better. Sohan not having to do everything. I think this team is going to win 46 games. I think this team is poised to go and get 46 wins.
You say 46. You know what I say? I say it's going to be somewhere around the number of 32 to 35. It's what
32 to 30. How can you say that?
I'm just trying to be very, very realistic, man.
STP11 reaches out and says 29 wins with a lot of laughing emojis. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? Chris Bettis says Mike Taylor at 10 and y'all at 12 is really working good, by the way. Hey, man, I'm a fan of Taylor. I am. No beef with him. He was on this show, for crying out loud. I think that we are onto something here, that these networks that are doing this platform on podcasts is a lot better because we don't date these shows. You can listen to the show at noon. You can listen to the show at 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and still enjoy it because there's no fear of missing out when it comes to this. Zion Williamson, according to Tim Gonzalez, does not want to even play for New Orleans. That is fact. That is fact.
That's why he's always faking injury, man. He wants out of there.
Mario reaching out and saying, don't forget about the addition of Cedi Osman and that boy can hoop. The Spurs have had a hard-on for CD for about 5 or 6 years, man. That they have wanted that guy for so freaking long. Again, the article is on Kens5.com, written by our good friend Jeff Garcia. Don't forget to check out Locked On Spurs and follow him on Twitter at Jeff G Spurs Zone, and then also on Threads at Jeff G Kens5 SA. Again, Jeff G Kens5 SA. Special shout out to one of our new sponsors. We have MCS General Contracting. You can reach out to them at 210-774-9155. They got a really nice new logo there. Bear County Social hooked them up. MCS General Contracting. Together, they have more than 30 years experience in concrete placement. MCS strives to be the best in the business, and they're going to provide honest pricing and high quality work. So what do they do? What do they do? Actually, I probably need their help. Going to be completely honest with you. I have a house that I bought 6 years ago, and I love everything about that house except for 2 things. One was the patio in the front. They put a topper on there. It was kind of like a film on there, and when it started to snow a few years ago, when it got really, really bad, it snowed 7 inches at my house.
Wow.
Like no other neighborhood got more snow than I did.
That's a lot.
In the San Antonio area. I measured it was 7 inches of snow. The entire layer all just disintegrated, and it started to flake off.
Yeah.
So I need to level that off, with some concrete or something. And then also I have a little bit of a slab issue in the back that needs to be kind of repatched up a little bit. So again, what does MCS General Contracting do? They do house foundations, driveways, concrete patio decks. And if you own a business, they can work on your parking lot, the foundations of the building, and other concrete placement services. Our good friend, Chris Leha, who is a big, big follower of this show. He makes a lot of comments on YouTube. He comes at me hard on Twitter. He's part of this ownership group. Again, he's been a big supporter of me, of Joe, and of this show. MCS General Contracting at 210-774-9155. We have a special guest today who's going to make a big announcement in a moment. Soccer fans love her. Sports fans love her. We're talking about Katie Goodman.
Yeah, and we also have a new intro for her as
well.
well.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. I love it. Very 1980s. I like it. I like it. It's all new.
Go ahead and bring her on.
It's going to go along to the fact that in pop culture, I'm going to talk about the fact that last night I watched the Wham documentary on YouTube. God, I love Wham.
Wow.
God, I love
Maybe
them.
You'll be singing that tonight.
Could be. Or get me a few drinks on Saturday night. I'll be doing that as well. Katie Goodman's joining us now. Katie, how you doing today?
I'm good. I love that intro. I was cracking up over here on my end. That was so funny. That
I had
was
to
so
do
funny.
that synth wave music for you, Katie.
Exactly. It was like Pet Shop
Yeah,
Boys.
I am all about it. I love the 80s. It's a great time period. Lots of classics, you know?
I can picture Katie
So.
Goodman in like an 80s Halloween outfit, like with the
with the bangle bracelets.
With the bangle bracelets. Like it
Dude.
goes because she has straight hair.
Yeah.
It goes very,
I
very
actually, well, what's funny is I don't have naturally straight hair. I have curly hair. And in fact, when it's really crazy, it looks super 80s. Like if I just brush it out, it looks like I had teased my hair when I actually just brushed my hair out. So my siblings, my older sisters, their kind of glory days were like the 80s. And they just like fit the time period so well. I'm telling you, like they had the look, they had the high-rise jeans and like
well. There you
the
go.
high top sneakers, and it's all coming back, you know, it's all cyclical. So like I feel like the 90s had a thing, 80s had a thing, and it just keeps kind of coming back in little bits and pieces.
Yeah, the 90s was depressing flannel, and it was Don't Shoot Me gangster rap. So as much as I love 90s music, the gear sucked. Okay, the clothing sucked. 80s though, iconic. You had the look. It was, I mean, from Madonna to Cyndi Lauper to what the guys were doing with the fluffy hair and all that stuff. I dig it. I'll be honest with you. Talking to Katie Goodman. Now we were talking about the Spurs a few minutes ago. Caesar Sportsbook coming out and saying that the Spurs are going to finish dead last in the Southwest Division. Again, we have teams like Memphis, New Orleans, Houston, and Dallas, and they're saying the Spurs are going to finish last. And another sportsbook said about 31 wins, 31 and 51. I think the Spurs are going to win 46 games. What do you think this year for the Spurs?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be a dead last team. While that would be beneficial to us for maybe another first round draft pick, but I don't think that's going to be the case. You know, I think they're going to be somewhere in the lower middle pack, little part of the pack, you know.
Yeah.
I definitely don't have super high hopes, but unless there's some sort of trade that goes down, which I think that ship has sailed. So, yeah, no, I see them to be maybe bottom 4 or 3.
Bottom 4.
But I don't see them be bottom.
You use the phrase middle of the pack. That's the thing about this whole division. Memphis without John Morant for a quarter of the season, middle of the pack. New Orleans without Zion Williamson because that dude is forever hurt, middle of the pack. The Rockets suck. And I'm there thinking the fact that the Spurs are 35-1 odds to win the division and there's not one elite team out there, I'm just saying, toss $100. Let's just see what happens. Happens. Talking to Katie Goodman from the Saturday Morning Hangover on San Antonio Sports Star. She also does coverage for UIW Sports, San Antonio FC, Houston Dynamo, all of that. So follow her on all her social media platforms. I am Katie Goodman. She's also Catherine Goodman, but I'm not going to call her by her first name.
How dare you use my legal name?
Using her government.
Get that out into the interwebs, Mike. Come on.
Exactly. Carolina Peak says, quit calling me by my government name.
Yeah, my government name. Exactly.
So, Katie, one of the things about the Spurs last night, honored on ESPN, the ESPY Awards, the Spurs won an ESPY for its involvement when it came to the Uvalde the Uvalde shooting that happened at that school over there last year. They were honored by being named the ESPN Sports Humanitarian Team of the Year for all their efforts out there. I mean, the Spurs, great story from Jeff Garcia on Ken's 5, talking about the fact that Trey Jones donated so much money over there. The Spurs as an organization donated hundreds of tickets, like over 1,000 tickets. They held a practice. The open practice was moved to Uvalde so that community can be over there. And then all of the volunteer hours and the fact that they've opened up a foundation, a trust, if you will, for the healing process out there in Uvalde, what the Spurs have done. Your thoughts on the Spurs being honored nationally by ESPN and what they've done in response to that horrific tragedy out there in Uvalde?
Yeah, I think one of the only silver linings we can pull from that situation is the way that the Texas community pulled together for that very small community. It's not a huge, busy metropolitan area that most people are used to visiting out in Uvalde. You know, it's a place that I think sometimes can be easily forgotten. And I think it says a lot about um, you know, lots of organizations all around Texas and these big metropolitan districts made a point to go out there to let people know that they weren't forgotten. And I think the Spurs just went above and beyond. And it wasn't just the Spurs, it was SAFC as well. They went out there, they held practices out there. Like those moments are so important, especially for youth, right? Because when you have these little kids who've just experience something so horrific, it's hard for them to just be a kid again, right? And to have a purpose or to have something to focus on. And sports are so healing. Sports have gotten me through so much, guys. Like if I didn't have soccer, like sheesh, like that's my mental health there. That's my anti-anxiety and antidepressant is just playing soccer, running, doing yoga, whatever. But like sports are important. They're an integral part of growth for these little kids. And I think the fact that they went out there and did things like that, they weren't just throwing money at it or just throwing, season tickets. They were out there volunteering their time, and big names were out there too. And I think that's the biggest part. And I think that's why they're so deserving of that award.
Yeah, the Spurs raised more than $1 million. And I'm glad that you mentioned San Antonio FC out there, because the San Antonio Missions also did fundraisers for the Uvalde community as well. What a horrific thing that happened over there. And I know that it's something that it heals a little bit, but I mean, it's been over a year, and just thinking about it right now just made my blood boil about all that what happened over there. And I remember when it first happened, just being so distraught about it and thinking about it as a parent, thinking about it as a son, thinking about it as what it was like. And then the response that was given by law enforcement out there was so bad.
Oh my God.
And the cover-ups that happened afterwards about it, and the redactions, and we're not going to release this, that, and the other, and you have to go to court to get it. And I do not talk politics over here, but the fact of the matter is that law enforcement failed that day.
Yeah,
it failed that community. There were parents who were willing to risk their own lives without any weapons to try to save their own kids.
There was a woman who broke in. She straight up got out of cuffs and ran in and broke into the school. And I'm like, heck yeah, that's a mother's love. And so many people just don't get it,
And it was a big failure all around. And it's just so, you're trying to get a positive out of something. It's kind of hard to get a positive when so many people died. But the Spurs to go out there and donate time, the money is great, but it doesn't bring back people, right? It doesn't bring back lost sons and daughters and mothers and things like that. But it shows that they're thought of, that this community was not going to be forgotten, and that this community means something. It may be an hour away from the AT&T Center, but it's still close to mind and close to heart. And one thing I'll say about the Spurs, the humanitarian efforts, Trey Jones, and he awarded $25,000 to the Uvalde Children's Bereavement Center of South Texas. You see certain Spurs players out there. This is the pride I take as a Spurs fan. Lonnie Walker has not been a member of the Spurs for a year, still doing things for the San Antonio community.
Yeah.
Still doing things. There's something about being, so for all the things that I fault about their PR, for all the things that I fault about Pop and the media, all of that stuff, the one thing that they do get right is that they teach the players to be part of the community and to care. And I tell you what, I think a lot of other teams would have done a lot for their community had something like this happen in their backyard. But the Spurs do it above and beyond anybody else. And whoever ran those efforts for the Spurs, for that organization, they should be applauded. I know they're not going to take credit for it, but they should be applauded for what they did. And thank you again to San Antonio FC and the San Antonio Missions, and to all of those who contributed. I donated for one of the GoFundMes of one of the children, because I remember being in tears and just talking to you about this 10 minutes ago. My voice cracked, and that's not, I mean, I like to joke around, stuff like that, but it hit me all over again, and it hurt. Yeah. And I have kids. I have a child who just got out of elementary school, and to think that could have happened to her. There's a photo I posted on social media of the classroom, and it's amazing how they're all gone. They're all gone. Like everyone in that room was dead. And it was just so painful. But the ESPN, the ESPY Awards last night, awarding this award to the SB, to the San Antonio Spurs and the organization for just simply being good guys and doing the right thing. Again, the award was called the Humanitarian Team of the Year. Thank you to the San Antonio Spurs. Thank you for what you do, Spurs. I give you a lot of crap. I love you. I sometimes have a love-hate relationship. But man, for what you guys did out there in Uvalde, man, fantastic.
That's the thing about them. Whether they're winning or losing, they always maintain their composure with the community, and they always maintain that brand. And that's, I think, why I'm such a forever supporter of them. And I feel like when it counts, their PR team is very, very thoughtful with things like this. They know how to handle these kind of tragedies and travesties. And yeah, I can't imagine being a mom during this time. What it must feel like to know that you're this could happen to any kid and at any time in any place, especially in Texas. And I had one little scare. There was a shooter at North Star Mall. And I was supposed to be there during that time, but I forgot. I just drove right past it, totally forgot it was a thing. And right where the shooting happened, there's a salon that I go to, like right there, a nail salon. And it was right there in that same vicinity. And so I just think about, wow, I can't imagine how scared I would have been. Now imagine being a child and not knowing anything of what to do, having zero life experience or knowing how to react, right? So, God, I was depressed for about 2 to 3 weeks after that. And I don't even really know anybody in Uvalde. I didn't have any connections to it, really.
It's just a human connection. It's a human connection. And, you never know how you're going to respond. I mean, twice I've had a gun pulled on me. I had a gun pulled on me when I was in high school. I was at a fast food restaurant that I worked at, and I was there to go pick up my check. Wasn't even working. I was there to pick up my check, and 3 people went and robbed it with guns. And I happened to be in the building. I just stood there while all my coworkers were in the back with their hands behind their neck on the floor, and they're robbing the place. And I just sat there, stood there, just like, waiting for it to all end. And then years later, when I was in New Braunfels, I was tubing and I was going back to my car, and it was late at night, and people tried to carjack me. And it was 3 people, it was 2 guys and a girl. They tried to carjack me. And I actually had my car running at the time, and I ran one of them over. I didn't run over them like badoom, badoom. I hit them with my car, and they flew over it. And
my God.
Off. That happened when I was about 21, 22 years old. And so you never know how you're going to respond, but it's been a while. I don't want to say that I'm due, because I hope not. I hope that I got those knocked out early in my life, but I survived both of them.
Jimenez, I'm going to buy you some sage. I'm just going to sage you right now. Bring you some rosary and an votive candle. Like, I don't know, man. You need some good juju.
You know what, Katie?
No more of that.
He's going to be karaoke. He's going to do karaoke till later on tonight. So how fitting would it be for him to sing the song, I Will Survive?
There you go. There you go.
Lord, as long as I know how to love, I know I'll stay alive.
Or Destiny's Child Survivor.
There you go. You got to dance like Beyonce.
Yeah.
The song's in my head. I'm going to work harder. I'm a survivor. I'm going to make it. It's good times. Good times.
You want to work for Mike?
Talking to Katie Goodman, you know her from San Antonio Sports Stars Saturday Morning Hangover, for all the work she does announcing games and doing things on television, UIW Sports, SAFC, Houston Dynamo, all of that. Katie, you'd be so proud of me. I watched 110 minutes of soccer last night. My wife was pissed, but I watched 110 minutes of it because last night, Panama, United States, Gold Cup semifinals. Gonna be honest with you, relatively boring for the first half or so. Not much going on. Panama had a chance a couple of times, didn't really happen. But my goodness, there's something about Team USA when it comes to that 88-minute marker. It's like just fast forward to the 88-minute marker, and all the action suddenly happens. What did you think of last night's loss? They lost in penalty kicks.
Yeah. So they kind of waited to the last minute with the Canada game as well.
Yeah.
It's been a bit of a recurring theme for them. They start out a little slow, and urgency always picks up in the last 10 to 15 minutes of the game. And sometimes the urgency from the other team can just change the way the game is being played. Sometimes it's not like, oh, they just got their you know what together and got it in the goal. Sometimes the anxiety from the other team has them playing a little differently, which opens up avenues, for the US, right? So, and it's like that with any team. Like, things just change in the final 10 to 15 minutes. That's why they say a 2-0 lead is the worst lead in soccer, because you get comfortable, and that's when people come back in like the final half of the final quarter of the game. Now, for this Panama game, this is like the U.S. men's national team's B team, a couple of C team guys, and they're playing against Panama's first team. So I know a lot of people were really unimpressed with the performance, and they're thinking, how can you beat Canada but lose to Panama? And it's because they didn't have the same guys on the roster. It was a little bit different. Now, Jesus Ferreira comes in. He saves the day at the last minute with a killer shot. Did you see that?
Yes, that made me
a
perk up.
header.
That made me perk up. I mean, it wasn't a bicycle kick, but whatever that was a he was inverted, if you will, to try to make that happen. And he not only made it in the goal, the velocity by which it hit the back of the net was very thrilling.
Right. And the power was perfect. The placement was perfect. And to receive the ball that way and to be able to redirect it with control is probably the hardest thing you can do, even over a bicycle kick. A bicycle kick, it looks cool, but it's a lot of luck.
Right.
Like, it's very rare that a bicycle kick is directed properly, and we see that all the time. It's usually over the goal or to the side because you can't see it. You're just winging it. That's a Hail Mary shot. But like the shot that Jesus Ferreira took, that was some next level stuff. And then, oh yeah, I see this little play going here. This is an old game, but yeah, no,
we have some comments coming in. Gabriel Chacon says Jordan Morris's assist deserves equal credit for that play.
Yes.
We have others who are coming out and say that Katie needs a weekly soccer segment. Working on it. AF Blue says, LOL, quote unquote, I was inverted. I'm assuming that is a Top Gun reference. But no,
inverted.
it was a great play. It really was a great play. And then it goes to the shootout. Well, first of all, Team USA looked like they were so on their defensive, like they were on their heels the first half of the match. Second half, they were more aggressive. And then before you knew it, they had no substitutions left. Before you knew it, everyone looked gassed. And they fall behind in the extra time. They come back and they tie it. And then it was so thrilling to see, Panama getting a goal ahead, if you will, in the kickoff, and then USA coming back and actually having a chance. All we needed was one more stop to win it all, or win that game, win that match, and it didn't happen. Panama took control the next time around on the sixth kick. I'll be honest with you, I'm being lured into soccer. I even got the soccer shirt on, got the San Antonio FC shirt on. So
hey, we'll take all the fans we can get over here. Come on over.
It was great. San Antonio FC got back to their winning ways last night. El Paso, what can you tell us about last night's match against El Paso?
Yeah, it was a much needed win. We're about halfway through the season now. We had a dry June, so not a ton of wins there in June. 0 wins, actually. So I think at that time we were beginning to wonder, has SAFC kind of lost their luster? What's happening? Are they no longer that number one team? Maybe are they the second or third team? But right. That's the thing. We're so spoiled with SAFC. We're used to them winning and having big wins and having spectacular showings. And, that's the hard part about once you win a conference title, of just maintaining that, because you have a target on your back. Everyone that shows up, they're bringing their best. We also just lost Sam Adeniran back to the MLS for St. Louis City SC. He's an incredible player. Huge loss for us, but we still have Tani Oluwaseyi, who is incredible there in the attack between him, Dylan. It's all good stuff. So I'm not concerned for them. I think they're finally getting the momentum that they needed. They really needed an away win, and that's what they got. And in El Paso, it's so hot out there. It's just as hot, if not more, than San Antonio, right? So, and it's been hard for them to do work when they're away, but they did just that, and that's all that matters. And now they have Sunderland coming up this weekend, which is huge for them because Sunderland was a team who was pretty much one win away from being in the English Premier League. Unfortunately, we're relegated to the lower leagues, and so now they're kind of just making their rounds. And just a little fun fact, it's the team that AFC Richmond was based on in Ted Lasso. So Roy Kent in the show is the character modeled after Roy Keane, and Roy Keane is the manager of Sunderland, just like we saw in the finale for Ted Lasso. So it's kind of cool to see how that has happened, and now they're making the rounds. And so I think if you're a huge soccer fan, or if you're wanting to get into soccer, this is going to be a great game to watch. I don't think Sunderland's going to bring their first team out for us against us, but it's still going to be a very different style of soccer that maybe we're not used to seeing a ton of here in San Antonio or in the United States in general. So yeah, I think it's going to be really good marketing, lots of cool stuff happening, and I'm just excited that a team like San Antonio FC even has the opportunity to play someone like Sunderland, because that's only going to bring their level up. You learn something new with every competitor you play, whether it be MLS or USL, but to be able to play a team from across the pond, that's just huge. That's just huge.
Chris
And
Gonzalez,
a lot of different eyes are going to be on that game too.
Chris Gonzalez reaches out to us on YouTube and says, "Damn, Katie bringing spoilers for Ted Lasso."
Sorry. Hey, how about you guys get with it, man? How have you not seen? Have you not seen the last episode? It's only been out for a bazillion years.
AF Blue 82. Whoa, spoiler alert.
Hey, come on, guys.
Crap
It's literally, guys, it's been out for like a month. I think that's optimal time.
There you go.
Optimal
Yeah,
time
I was
for
wanting
you
to
guys.
see Ted Lasso, but not anymore.
now,
Not-
screw it.
Yeah, screw it, dude.
It's funny that you mentioned that.
Hey,
My
it's not ruining that much, okay? It's ruining that much. There's tons to the plot that I did not disclose.
The sad part is, Joe, I started watching with my wife, because my wife and I, we decide like what show we're going to watch. We go back and forth, and I pick a show, she picks a show, and we go back and forth. She wants to watch Handmaid's Tale.
Oh God,
on
man.
Hulu, right? And it's won a lot of awards, and I know a lot of the actors on there. So I'm like, okay, I'll watch it with you. So I've watched the first couple of episodes, and I've liked it so far. I've been okay with it, but I was trying to find a synopsis of the second episode because I didn't understand what was going on one scene. So, there's like Vulture and all those different websites where they will give you a synopsis, TV Line and all that stuff.
Yeah, Variety,
all that stuff. I ended up finding the spoiler for the last, like, just one line. It tells me how it ended, and I'm there going, I'm looking for season 1, episode 2 synopsis, and of course Google comes up with, here's how it ended. And I read it. I didn't know what I was reading, and I was like, oh my God. So now I have to watch 47 other episodes with my wife, knowing how it's going to end.
Or just be like me and just say, I'm out. This is not for me.
Yeah.
I can't cuddle if we're not in the same room, man. That's it.
Cuddle's overrated, man. I'd rather be doing something else.
Whoa.
Hello.
All right. He's taking Netflix and chill to a new level.
No, man. Like I've been married to my wife for a long time. I said over 20 years. So I said, if you don't hate her, you don't love her.
That's right.
Hey. Love and hate. It's a fine line, you guys. It's a
there's
fine
things that
line.
I do, I'm sure, that upset her or get under her skin. So,
I think the other way, man. I think Dwight Yoakam style from the 80s. You don't know me if you don't like me, man. Texas Tornadoes. But talking to Katie Goodman from Saturday Morning Hangover on San Antonio Sports Star, all the things that she does for UIW Sports and San Antonio FC and all of that, Houston Dynamo and all of that. Wanted to get into a big announcement of a retirement. Megan Rapinoe going to be hanging up the cleats, if you will, hanging up the gloves. What does that mean for women's soccer? What does she mean for women's soccer in general, and how big of a loss is that?
She's been a trailblazer for women's soccer, and just, the fearlessness that she has is speaking up for not only herself but others, I think is everything. Because of her, the collective bargaining agreement went through for the NWSL. Because of her, there's, the equal pay went through. So like she has really, really pushed things forward for women's soccer. And when you do that with women's soccer, other sports follow. Because if you look at the WNBA, and you look at just all of these other sports that are beginning to gain popularity professionally. The U.S. women's national team, they were the first ones to win and be the best in the world. They were the first ones to get chartered flights. They were the first ones to, get better hotel stays. And there's still people in the WNBA fighting for that. And that's kind of ridiculous, actually, when you think about that. And so, you think when you just see women's sports as a whole, like there's a part of me that's like, why do you have to be the best in the world to like start getting some recognition? But luckily for us here in the United States, the women have been the best in the world for a long time. They've been in the top 3 since at least the inception of the World Cup. So that should say something. If not 1, they're at least in the 3. And that says so much about us. Now, as for Rapinoe, also what she's done for LGBTQ plus is huge. She's the one who really got the conversation going. Soccer, out of the other sports, out of football, basketball, whatever, even on the men's side, tends to be way more progressive. And so I think personalities like her help people to realize soccer can be a safe space. It can be a space safe for all types of people from all walks of life. And that's because of what she's done, so it's, on one hand, it's sad to see her not on the pitch, but I know it's not going to be the last you see of her. In fact, she didn't play in this last game. She's been nursing an injury. She's been injured in and out of the season. In fact, I called the game. I called the Houston Dash versus the OL Reign game, and I was so pumped to see her play, but she couldn't because she's injured. So, is what it is, right? And we all have our time limit as an athlete. They say every athlete dies twice, but you don't die. I feel like that part of you doesn't have to go completely away. There's things like media,
Right.
There's things like you can still be the face of an organization, and you can still continue to push the envelope forward regarding equal pay and LGBTQ plus rights, all of that, right? So, and I think we're going to continue to see that there from her. I don't think you're going to see a ton of playing time for her. Whenever they announced the roster, she wasn't even on the roster. Like Rose Lavelle, who is her teammate, made the roster, but they never announced her name. And I think that's why they decided to bring her along towards the end. I think she knows she was on her way out. I think we'll be lucky to maybe see her in a couple games, and it'll probably be a farewell situation. Maybe she gets a couple minutes in, and then she gets the big send off there on the pitch at the World Cup.
She's big. She's big when you know her the name. There's certain names that have come out from soccer, for women's soccer over the years. Going back to Chastain and Ham, and most recently Rapinoe, and before she was retired, Hope Solo, and you're getting to know a lot of these names. But for me, I'm getting into soccer. People giving me crap right now on the thread right now, saying that she plays forward. Jimenez, it's hanging up the cleats, not the gloves. My bad.
Tomato.
Exactly. You know what? I'm cheering either way. I'm cheering for the jersey.
Yeah.
People are asking if you follow the Premier League. Chris Balsadil wants to know, do you follow the Premier League?
Not as closely as I should, which I know is totally sacrilege being a soccer person. But in my defense, I am my time is really tied up quite a bit with American soccer at the moment, especially. Did I just see someone talk about Ole Miss in that comment? Get out of here, Ole Miss people. Go Dogs. Go Dogs. Jason Garcia, go kick rocks. All right. Mississippi State for life. Mississippi State for life. No, but as far as the European League, or English Premier League, excuse me, Arsenal I'm a fan of, Chelsea fan of, but for the most part, all of my deep dives are American soccer.
Tim Gonzalez reached out and said Alex Morgan's a name. Yes, that's a name that I do recognize as well.
Yeah.
I'm getting into it. Okay. Now, here's the thing. You mentioned earlier San Antonio went out to El Paso to beat El Paso yesterday, and that's a good thing. But you're going to be making that drive to El Paso also. So this is a big announcement here. This is a big announcement that you're getting here on the Acquired Taste podcast. Katie Goodman is a good friend of ours here. Okay. And we do a thing called Buy Me a Coffee, right? Where we say that if you like our show, want to be part of the show or contribute to the show, buy us a beer, right? If you can call that up, Joe. The buy us a beer, buy us a coffee. It is a QR code, and today we're raising money because Katie Goodman has done good. Katie Goodman has done good. Again, you have the QR code there, along with the buymeacoffee.com/acquired taste, because we're going to donate this to Katie Goodman. I'm going to donate the first $25 to it. Okay. Tell us about the big announcement, what's going on in your world, and how we can help out.
Yeah. So you talked about the El Paso thing. Well, I was a little bit late getting on here because I was talking to the passport agency. So actually, I got a spot in Houston. So I'll be driving to Houston now and not El Paso, which is really nice. But the reason I am going to get my passport is because I will be at the Women's World Cup and I'll be shadowing the Fox Soccer broadcast. So you're not going to see me. This is not a broadcasting thing or anything like that. This is a learning opportunity for me. And I'm very grateful for that. But yeah, so I'm starting out in LA. I'm going to check out behind the scenes there in LA. And then I'm flying to Australia and I'm going to check out the behind the scenes there for a couple games. So yeah, I'm really excited about it. I'm ready to work. Still kind of coming up with some content ideas and looking for potential sponsors, things like that. But I haven't really pulled the plug on anything yet. I'm trying to move slowly, make sure I have all my ducks in a row, make sure that I'm even going to have time to do the things that I want to commit to, right? So because first things first is I'm there to learn and to network and experience cool things. So I'm pumped. I'm really pumped. And if you want to follow along my journey, I post a ton on Instagram, Threads, Twitter, all of that. I'll probably be putting up some TikTok content as well. And you can see right up here, I'm Katie Goodman. That's my handle for all my social medias. So yeah, it's
you're following your dream, and we talked about this over the phone, right? This morning you were telling me about this, and I've teared up twice today. Good Lord, I have cried a lot today. I teared up because I was like, man, Katie is such good people, and she's following her dream. And I was in TV for 10 years. I was a producer, I was a reporter. And every time I would see somebody out there, I could tell you whether they were going to be good or not at what they do, or if they were good enough for San Antonio or good enough for a national level, or maybe they should go back into lower markets. The first time I met Katie and I started following your content, I was like, she's a star. She just hasn't been discovered yet. And the thing about stars is that you got to see them in order for them to shine bright, right? And part of all this, though, is you're going out and you're following your dream out there. And it's like, great, you have this opportunity, but this opportunity is going to come at a cost because you're going to have to go and drive out there. There's costs associated with going out to Houston, getting all that done. And then plus, I know what it's like to get a passport expedited. It's like you have to give up your firstborn when it comes to the costs associated with that. So anything that can be done, again, buy me a coffee. We will put today's efforts towards Katie Goodman. I will contribute myself $25. I tell you what, if we get $50 out there, I'll match the 50. How about that?
Well, I think you already did get 50 because Jason said he's going to match you.
So very nice. So
Thank you, Jason.
We're gonna make this happen. And I was talking to you about this. I was saying I'm gonna do this for you today, and you were like, "That's a thing that like we could crowd."
Yeah.
and like you had no idea. I'm like, dude, you have supporters, you have fans, you have listeners, you have watchers, you have so many people who are so excited about the soccer community here and what you have brought and what you've brought to us. It's time for us to pay it back. And you've done a very good job, and we'll take care of this and we'll get you going so that you can live that dream. Because I know when you go to LA, I'm going to say this, you ain't coming back. I mean, you'll come back and pick up your trash. You'll clean out the house or the apartment or wherever you're at. You're going to clean that out, but you're going to make connections out there, and you're going to be in Australia providing content over there, and you're going to be doing all of that, and it's going to be big. And I'm so proud of you. You're going to take out the trash in your house or apartment or wherever you're at. You're going to grab you're going to box up all your stuff, and something big is going to happen because of this. I know it. It's beyond Texas. You're national, girl. You are national. It's going to happen.
Check this out,
Jason
Katie.
Garcia comes out and says, I'm not crying, you're crying. MCS will throw in another 25 in the pot. So
oh my gosh, you guys.
We're going to make this happen. All right. It's It is like a PBS drive right now. We Are the World, 1980s.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah,
So
are we gonna
let's
get
make this happen.
John Bon Jovi on here to sing some stuff? I'm just kidding. No. Like a benefit.
But
Oh my God!
congratulations.
Like, thank you so much, Mike. You know, like you have no idea what that means coming from you. First off, and then also, you know, it looks like on paper when you look at my Instagram and all the things I've done, and yes, I'm working and I'm moving and I'm making progress and I'm making these things happen, and I now have this really, really cool opportunity. But I just want to say to, you know, the people out there watching, like, it's not been easy. You know, there's been a lot of tough things, personal things happen. And so for me to have been able to make it to this moment, it feels very purposeful, you know, and as someone who was an athlete, you know, my career ended in 2011 because of back surgery. And then I just so happened to try to get my last hoorah in 2021, 10 years later. And I happened to make it to on that semi-pro team. And then I happened to get on the league's podcast. And then all of these things happened to just work out and pan out. And you know, I think about how lucky I am that I got a second chance to be around the sport that I love. That is truly me to my core, you know? And so I think, you know, I'm so grateful that people like you exist. Like I have this support system, because I think that's another way of knowing that I'm on the right path. Because when you're on your way there, it's not clear cut. You know, there's a lot of times when you're like, man, should I be here? Should I be doing this? Should I just give up and try something else? I can't tell you how many times I've literally given up and then an opportunity fell in my lap, you know? So like, it looks great and peachy and amazing, and it is, and I'm living for it and I'm pumped, but I just have to express the reality of it, and like, and how important this is to me and how grateful I am for people like you and everyone else supporting. Like, seriously, like, it took a lot. It took a lot for me to get here, and I'm not even there. You know, I'm not even there yet. This is just a part of the process.
One of the
So,
things that people
yeah.
don't understand, Katie, is like you work so hard and you put a lot of work and effort into what you're doing, but there's also a lot of sacrifice. There's a lot of other things that you miss out on because you're pursuing your dreams. So
You
just
can
stay focused.
you can make more money doing other
Yeah.
things, but it's just one of those things where it's the passion, and you're hoping to make that living
Yeah.
with the passion. There's an old saying that says that success occurs when opportunity meets preparation. I agree with that, but at the same time, there's always roadblocks that jump in the way. The roadblocks could be relationships, it could be family, it could be financial, it can be distance, it can be all sorts of things like that. And sometimes people can't go for their dreams because they're being held back somehow, some way. And I
Yeah.
met you a couple of years ago, and I just remember going, she's a star. She's a star. And
Aw.
it's just one of those things where I heard your story and I was like, we got to do something. You know, I know we're a small podcast right now that's growing, and we're busting at the seams right now as far as how we've done, but you've given back to our show. We need to give back to you. We need to see you through when it comes to all this and make life, at least, even if it's just a little bit easier. It's just something that I don't want anything to get in your way of you achieving the success that you have. And just do us a favor. We ask one favor.
Yeah.
Don't forget about us. Okay.
Never. I
Don't
could
forget
never.
about
You have it on camera as proof. I could never. Just if something happens, send me this clip.
Yeah, you'll be like,
No,
that's
but
your AI. That's your
seriously.
AI. That's AI.
Yeah, that's AI. Clearly, yeah. No,
Katie
I
Goodman.
need to make one of those little QR codes. That's awesome. That's such a great idea, because I don't like asking people for money. I don't like being like, support my GoFundMe. But it's different when you're like, buy me a coffee. That's cool. You know, it's
Yeah.
like literally a coffee could help me through my day, you know, to like do all these things I'm trying to do. And it's such a small amount, you
And I
know,
think
like
the world that we live
$3,
in,
$4, $5. Yeah.
the world that we live in when it comes to things, I think people are afraid to ask for help. But at the same time, it's one of those things where I have come to the conclusion that I ain't too proud to beg when it comes to things, because if people don't know what you need and what the opportunity is, the a reaction you would have gotten would have been, I wish I would have known. So you got to make it be known that sometimes you're not looking for a handout, you're looking for a help up. That's all you're looking for.
Right.
You know, and it's a great
Right.
opportunity. You go into LA, doing your thing over there, making the connections, and then going. You may not be on camera, but then you're going to go to Australia doing the and have to get the opportunity to experience the Women's World Cup, and that is so awesome, so awesome. And only if there are people out there who don't think you're a star in the media, then they don't deserve their job because they don't know what they're talking about. You are a star.
Aw.
We'll help out a little bit, whatever we can today. Text me or your Venmo or PayPal. We'll make it so. Okay.
Awesome.
that
Thank
is
you
the-
guys.
That is Katie
You're
Goodman.
welcome.
She's at I'm Katie Goodman on all the platforms out there. Someone did respond and say, does she have a Threads? I don't know yet. But
I do. It's the same username. Same
Same username.
username for Threads. Yep.
Very nice. Katie Goodman, congratulations on the effort. I'll reach out to you
Thank
later on
you.
today.
Thank you.
You take
And
care.
I love what you're doing here too. You guys are killing it. I can't wait to see what this grows into. I mean, Mike, you're killing it. Like, there's so many people out there doing podcasts, right? But not everyone has the skill set to navigate conversation and to keep conversation flowing. And like, it's just so obvious, all of this experience that you have. And I'm just excited to see what you do with this thing.
I'm excited too. It's growing by the day. Katie Goodman,
Yeah,
you're good people. You're good people. Congratulations on everything.
Yeah, congrats,
talk to you
Katie.
soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, y'all.
Talk to you soon. You know, again, we are busting at the seams and doing well simply because we have the love of our sponsors. There's the QR code right there. buymeacoffee.com/acquired taste. Today, we're going to be doing an effort for Katie Goodman. So whatever is brought in today goes straight to Katie. I'm going to match up to $50 of that. It's probably already there.
Yeah, no doubt.
And it's because there's sometimes you beat people and you know they're going to be really good. They just need the opportunity. She's got the opportunity, but now it's other things holding people back. And she didn't even ask for this, and that's why I want to do it. It's because she didn't ask for it, but she didn't ask for it, and I was like, she needs to be blessed with this. So Katie Goodman's a good person, and we are being blessed by several sponsors. One that I want to talk about is Cynthia J. Sanchez from JPAR Real Estate. Cynthia been in business for 16 years, my personal realtor. She's done so well. I mean, as a realtor, Cynthia, I've known her for so long, and she has done so much in the community. I see the amount that she gives back to her church, that she gives back to her family, that she gives back to all of these people that are in her lives. And if you're looking for a real estate agent who's going to have your best interest in mind, not going to try to just simply sell the house, but make sure that it's the right house at the right cost, that it provides for your family the right way, that's in the right community, at the right price point, at the right interest rate. She sold a house last week at 4.2%. Okay. You go to a bank, it's 7 or 8%. She has lenders out there, home builders at 4% or so. Cynthia J. Sanchez, the number right there, 210-273-0748, 210-273-0748. And again, if you buy a house through her, let's say it's a pre-owned home, she's going to allow you to have, she's going to offer up to a $600 value, which is a warranty to protect it in case a water heater, dishwasher, AC, or other mechanical appliance breaks down due to wear and tear. Cynthia J. Sanchez, 210-273-0748. Before we go, I want to say congratulations to a San Antonio poker player named Brian, and I'm gonna butcher the last name. Is it Obregon?
Obregon, I think. Let's go ahead and check him out here. Give me a second. I'm gonna go to your Twitter page.
Yes,
here.
so
Here
his
he
name is Brian Obregon. There are 49 players left at the World Series of Poker main event in Las Vegas, Nevada, and he's one of the 49.
Yeah, it is Obregon, Brian Obregon.
So we were talking about the fact that Rhonda DiMartino, who's also really big at Rounders and SA Card House, she cashed in the World Series earlier this week. Brian is in the same tournament. 49 players left. There were over 10,000 that started. 49 left. And at this point right now, he has the 27th most chips with just over 10 million in chips in play. The worst that he can do at this point is make $188,000. 49 players. If he gets into the top 44, 229.
Man, that's some good cash right there
That
in your
is.
pocket, man.
Again, he's 27th in chips right now. If he's top 35, 280,000.
Jeez.
Over 350 if he finishes in right around where he's at in 27th right now. But he's got a lot of chips to make moves. He doesn't have to be desperate out there. And one of the things about the World Series is that there's so many different celebrities and stars that participate. Matt Damon has played. Tobey Maguire has played. Edward Norton has played. A celebrity was out there. A boxer. King Ryan Garcia.
Wow.
He cashed at the World Series of Poker, finished 567th place, cashed out for $32,500. I mean, of all the accomplishments that he has done in just his life, what he has done for boxing, this has got to be one of the big accomplishments out there, because this is a sport. I don't care what people say. This is a sport in many, many ways. It's a sport of the mind. There is luck associated with it, but King Ryan, 567th place. Brian Obregon right now, 49 players left. The winner of this tournament gets 12.1 million. Top 9, $1 million or more. Woo!
$1 million or more, man. That's a nice payday.
9. Yeah. I mean, not bad for a $10,000 deposit.
Not
Chris
bad.
Betta is reaching out to us on YouTube saying, SA represented at the WSOP. Damn straight we are. Damn straight we are. Chris Betta is also saying he's been watching Brian, that he's killing it. Awesome. Now, the thing about the main event is that when they get to the November 9, it's called the November 9 because they will stop play when they get down to 9 players, and then they continue, if I'm not mistaken, months later, so that it's televised nationally and they have all of that going on.
Yeah.
But that'd be so cool to have somebody from San Antonio out there. Again, special thanks to our sponsor, Cynthia J. Sanchez from J. Parr Real Estate. Again, you're looking for a home, looking for a rental property, an investment property, looking to buy a brand new home. Again, she has the builders right now offering financing internally at a 4% range. Not bad at all. Again, thank you again to one of our other new sponsors out there. So many that are coming around. MCS General Contracting, 210-774-9155 for your residential and commercial concrete placement needs. House foundations, building foundations, driveways, patios, parking lots, concrete patios is what I'm talking about. Again, Chris Aleja is part of that group, and he does a fantastic job out there. More than 30 years of experience. And again, tonight, don't forget, I'm going to karaoke my ass off over at Serenity Manor. So if you have your Google Maps, type in Serenity Manor. Okay, this is out in Helotes, 14405 Old Bandera Road, Helotes, Texas. Again, if you know where Flores Country Store is, it's Caddy Corner. And if you don't know what Caddy Corner means, that means diagonal. Okay, across the street and diagonal. Okay, it is right there. It is a big hall. They do a lot of venues there, like weddings and quinceañeras and corporate events and things like that. They're going to have a fair this weekend. A lot of vendors out there. They have a bar inside there. Come by. They're going to have karaoke for the first time tonight. Starts at 6 p.m., runs till about 10. I will be there around 6:30. I got to get my song on. I'm going to get a couple of beers in me. Some people have DM'd me. You better go. You better go, because if I'm going to be out there, you're going to be out there. And then, again, we're going to party on Saturday night to celebrate the fact that we got 500 YouTube subscribers. We're going to go at 6 o'clock. Where are we going? We're going to Mad Packers, baby. Mad Packers Brewery, Tezel and Timber Path, Saturday at 6 p.m. After a couple of hours, we'll mosey on over to Who's Who for some karaoke around 8:30. That's over on Callahan and Babcock. DM me if you need directions or if you forget where we're going. We're going to have a blast out there. And thank you again for all the supporters out there of the Acquired Taste Network and podcast. And most importantly today, thank you to all the supporters of Katie Goodman.
One more time.
Katie Goodman. Show her some support. Again, if you donate today, this is going to Katie Goodman because she has an opportunity to go out to Los Angeles and then to Australia for the Women's World Cup. She's going to be learning, shadowing. I think she's at Fox Sports out there.
Yeah, Fox Sports.
That's a big, big deal, but it's coming at a big, big cost because of expedited passports, because of the travel that she needs to go get that and all of that going on. She was not asking for it. She was not. But she was telling me about the opportunity, and I said, Katie, you need to crowdsource. You have a lot of people who support you, who want to follow your dream with you. And again, I'm donating to this as well. And Katie Goodman is good people, man. She really is. And she's good at what she does. She does a lot for the San Antonio community, for the soccer community, for UIW. If you are a UIW student, supporter, grad, you better be donating to Katie on this day because she covers your sports. She does it very well. Houston Dynamo, all of that, even the MLS team in Austin that will be named to remain nameless. She also does stuff for them as well. But again, I'm excited about where we're going as a show. Chances are we're going to 2 hours pretty soon, probably before the end of the month.
Probably we start really thinking about maybe doing this like next week or something, man.
Yeah, we if we get that fifth sponsor, and by the way, I have a list of like 6 companies that I've already met with. We get 5 and 6, we're going 2 hours. We're just busting at the seams at that point. But
well, we couldn't do this without everybody's, participation and support here. So we greatly appreciate all you guys.
I'm so upset that I couldn't talk about the Wham documentary. I will tomorrow. Wake me up before you go. Ooh, that might be the song that I sing. Maybe, how about this? Maybe for Katie. I will sing a song. If we raise a certain amount of money that might embarrass me. like biggest donator gets to pick the song.
Oh man.
Maybe we'll do something like that. I'll do that for Katie Goodman. But we've had a great time out here. Hope everyone has a fantastic afternoon or evening, because if you might be listening to us in the future, if you podcast us, thank you so much. Spread the word, spread the link, let them know that the Acquired Taste Network exists, that we're going to 2 hours. And I'm excited. I'm excited for the future. That's Joe Garcia producing today's show. My name is Mike Jimenez. Again, don't forget to follow Jeff Garcia also on Twitter at Jeff G Spurs Zone, and on Spotify. I follow on Spotify Locked On Spurs podcast, because that article he had today pissed me off. Caesar Sportsbook saying we're going to finish last, that the Spurs are going to finish last in the Southwest Division. Screw that. We're going to finish with 46 wins. And to me, that might be enough to win the division. And at 35-1 odds, woo! I've already bet $200 on Spurs futures. I might have to bet more. Real fast, Rebecca Gonzalez reaching out to us on YouTube, seeing Feels Like a Woman. Oh my God.
Look at Chris Pettis. You're going to wind up singing a Britney song.
Oh man, it'll be the song Lucky. Can't be Hit Me Baby One More Time. Okay, can't be. And then we have Tim saying, Mike Jimenez, just imagine if you have 10 sponsors before the year ends. That would be amazing. And it's beyond this, because we have the Fantasy Gods also. We had a company reach out to us, say, we want to sponsor Fantasy Gods, like specifically.
Nice.
So that's pretty interesting. So I'm out and about doing my thing. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you for supporting Katie Goodman today. That's Joe Garcia. My name is Mike Jimenez. We'll be back tomorrow.